If you have not subscribed, please click the like button, share and subscribe. It's free.
Despite all this political school, it's a political school. In the context of the international, President, this is a political school. There are forces that have emerged, from the international side, from West Africa. These are our leaders. From Burkina Faso, for instance, we've got Comrade Traore. We have got Traore. We've got also the forces in Mali and in Niger. I'll be visiting these forces quite soon to reconnect with the African Revolution, because those forces are serious. No, those forces are serious in revolution. And I want to plead here from the political commission, maybe from the political school, because members of the NEC bakhona is that masesicela lapho Comrade Khomotso. There will be some understanding. An institution that has been established in the Sahel region, the Central West African region, by three leaders from these countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. They have dispensed ECOWAS, that has become the entity of France. They've raised the banner against imperialism and against colonialism. They need our support. We need to link up with them so that we can also intensify both training, political training of their strategic cadres. Because at least when I say Bambile, yes, Bam. Yeah, Bambile, but that's power, yes, Bam. And Bakombale Bamzabo against France, the greatest colonizer of the African continent. France colonized 28 African countries of 54 countries that we have. It's not a small thing. But those three guys, they've stood firm on the ground. I'll say, in your international discussion, don't forget that region that is emerging and how this revolution can support that region, can link with that region, without forgetting other struggles. Whether it's the struggles in the region, including the struggles in Swaziland, in the DRC, and everywhere else. But these forces have shown seriousness about the revolution. And they're clear that they're not going to allow a situation where the entire Europe is lit on the lithium of Niger. Entire Europe is lit on the lithium of Niger. And yet the people of Niger live in poverty. So they're taking resources back to the hands of the masses. This is a serious revolution. Let's find a way to send even a message to these forces. Of course, it's not this bourgeois notion of coup d'etats. That's why in our Central Committee in February, we refused to condemn those coup d'etats. Because the government have got a script book. Any coup d'etat, you condemn it, even if it's on the hands of the people, on the side of the people. When they went to Niamey in Niger for this conference, when Traore arrived in Niger, there were hundreds of thousands of the masses receiving their leaders, marching with them, following them to say, Nileti Nkululeko. Yento sifunayo ibuye back la country yethu. And I'm not saying that this thing will happen militarily. All I'm simply saying, those initiatives by military means on the African continent must be supported by now. And the same as I've known, and I like the material that you have in the context of support for Palestinian struggle. Palestine. We're not serious even about dealing with this Israel. We need a mechanism. If we have the resources, Tina, we will go to court every single day to hold Diko accountable for soldiers, South African soldiers who are killing and come back here. We allow them. They massacre people. Let's not get weary of the... Just last week, as they were withdrawing from one section of country, they murdered 73 women and children in a shelter. So it's important to express our clear solidarity in this regard, even in the context of the school that we're faced with. But otherwise, our struggle to fight and defeat austerity measures and to defeat this right-wing GNU establishment that has been set up with reactionary forces. I must tell you, there's nothing that shocked me. We've been sleeping all along on revolution. I felt I don't deserve to be a leader of this party. The first negotiation, the Democratic Alliance, bafuna into my business a sealed agreement. Party ANC, give us parliament to run, being the executive. But we want you to give our leader, a department to lead, Department of Trade and Industry and Competition. But this must be under sealed agreement. Suppose it would be in a sealed agreement. But no, Agazo are accountable to anyone, not even to the president. And I don't know if this thing can be implemented even in the context of this government of national unity. Yes. Because there was no reason why, when we have brought forces that could have shifted this thing around, we could have de-linked with capital as a revolution, we could have become independent. The moment had arrived for us to do so, and we rejected to do it. There was no reason why we were forced to go this route. There were options. But an impression was created that there are no options. It's not true. There were options. We put them on the table. Now, sealed agreement means Steenhuisen would have come as Minister of Trade and Industry to Cabinet, having finalized everything with his own team, including firing all the people there in that department and appointing his own people that only account to them. The Cabinet, because Cabinet is run on the principle of secrecy and cordiality. Linda, I've never been to Parliament. She has been a minister. She knows this thing. Cordiality means that you cannot criticize your fellow minister, even in public. Yes, that's a system. And whatever is discussed there is secret. If you breach that, you are removed. That's why when they take an oath, they don't take an oath to serve. They don't take an oath not to reveal secrets. What kind of an oath is that? I won't reveal secrets. Wait. Take an oath to serve the people. So, we negotiate a sealed agreement in Avantla. The thing that we failed to negotiate is the alliance all these years. Even with Jason, we said, Jason, give us one department. Let's run it the socialist way. This is the sealed agreement that they are talking about. The ones were told about, no, when they realized that they can actually get 6 ministries, one sealed agreement for one minister was not good enough. They went for the bigger lot. They've got it. Now, raise your level of consciousness. We're happy with the school. All the best with the school. I'll send you the notes, sanitize, so that they are not in a good media. If you don't talk about the guidance meeting, you have no reason to publish it. Thank you very much. Amanda!
Traore, what I saw today, I have never seen it in Africa. It has never happened in any African country before, apart from in Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traore has become the first African president to avoid using the expensive Toyota Land Cruiser for convoy. Well, today, being the 25th of June 2024, Malian president visited Ibrahim Traore. On 25th of June 2024, Mali transition leader makes official visit to Burkina Faso. The two leaders are set to discuss concrete projects aimed at improving bilateral collaboration and promoting sustainable development initiatives. President Assimi Gota in Ouagadougou for a friendship and working visit. The President of the Republic of Mali, Colonel Assimi Gota, will stay this Tuesday, June 25th in Ouagadougou as part of a friendship and working visit. This is President Gota's first visit to Burkina Faso, and during his stay, the two heads of state will revisit the excellent cooperative relationship that exists between the Republic of Mali and Burkina Faso. The Malian head of state and the president of Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, will discuss in particular the challenges of the fight against and those linked to socio-economic development and the quest for total sovereignty of their respective countries. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, faced with attacks, have decided, within the framework of the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, to take responsibility by pooling their efforts and energies to liberate their territory from the forces of the wrong. This meeting of the two heads of state of the AES member countries will also be an opportunity to strengthen the alliance for the happiness of the people of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Ibrahim Traoré went to the airport by himself to pick Malian president down to the presidential villa in Burkina Faso. But the reason of me being happy about this visit is not because of the visit alone, but because of the convoy that Ibrahim Traoré used to bring Assimi Gota from airport to the presidential villa. The convoy he used was the cheapest convoy in the history. I have never seen any cheap convoy like that. Ibrahim Traoré used brain to save Burkina Faso's money, and used the money to do more important things than misusing it extravagantly. What he did, supposed to be a lesson for every African leader to learn. If you are from Nigeria, from Gambia, from Ghana, from Sierra Leone, from Ethiopia, from Kenya, from anywhere around the world, especially in Africa, call your president. To learn from Ibrahim Traoré how to save country's economy. Ibrahim Traoré, instead of using Toyota Land Cruiser 2024 model, which he cost $200,000, he went to buy the cheapest SUV in the market, which is Lexus LX 570 that cost $93,000 US. He bought only two pieces. The two pieces of it cost $186,000, cheaper than one Toyota Land Cruiser. This is unbelievable. And you would ask me, why would he buy these SUVs? He bought them because if somebody like Putin is coming to visit him, Putin needs SUV to pick him from airport. If Assimi Gota is coming to visit him, Assimi Gota needs SUV to pick him from the airport, but not exotic one. He went to pick the cheapest, and he didn't finish there. After picking the two cheapest SUV in the market, he did not buy any other vehicle attached to that. Just only two SUV for him, and for the visitors for special purposes, cheapest one in the market. The rest convoy is military vehicle, pickup vehicles. And those pickup vehicles are the cheapest pickup vehicles in the market. They are called TLC 79 series. Each one of these vehicles cost $35,000 new one. That is what you are looking at there. And ask me how many number of the military vehicle that follow Assimi Gota and Ibrahim Traoré from airport to the presidential villa. 4 TLC vehicles follow them. With only two SUV, which is Lexus LX 370, that cost $93,000 each. This is how a president is supposed to minimize expenses of country. What he did is what every African leader is supposed to have done. But do they do this? No. Why? Because they are coming for enjoyment. Many African leaders are coming to destroy the country themselves. A leader would come to power. The first thing he would do is to approve Toyota Land Cruiser. For him, if he has 15 Escort, he will approve Toyota Land Cruiser for 15 Escort. And it will not stop there. He will go and approve the Toyota Land Cruiser for every lawmaker, for every senator, for every governor, every local government chairman. Then tell me how a country will progress when her president is taking their money to Japan to procure Toyota Land Cruiser that cost $200,000 each. Why didn't they use that money to build factory or to buy tractors and send people to farm? Don't they know that each one of these Toyota Land Cruiser that cost $200,000 can build 3 factories? Some countries have about 1,000 pieces. If you multiply 3 factories by 1,000 pieces, it will give you 3,000 factories. If he had used the money to build 3,000 factories, there will be employment for everybody, and everybody will be happy walking. And that is exactly what Ibrahim Traoré did. Ibrahim Traoré, instead of using the money of Burkina Faso to be buying 15 Toyota Land Cruiser for only himself alone and his motor kid, he used that money to buy tractors and sent everybody to farm. On 27th of May 2024, Burkina Faso's 36-year-old military head of state, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, handed over 400 tractors, 239 motorcycles, and 710 motor pumps to agricultural investors to boost production. The government also provided 714 motorcycles for farm agents. Additionally, the government will support producers with 10,000 tons of fish food, 68,964 tons of fertilizer, 10,000 liters of phytosanitary products, 18,000 tons of vegetable seeds, 2,300 tons of feed seeds, and 10,000 tons of concentrated foods. Look at Burkina Faso. Everybody is happy. He went to welcome Azimi Koita with only 2 cheapest Land Cruiser in the world today. Beautiful Land Cruiser, but very cheap. Each one, $93,000 US each one. 2 of the Lexus LX 570 cannot buy 1 Land Cruiser. And not only that, he refused to approve the Land Cruiser for anybody, even for himself. He did not approve Land Cruiser for himself. This Land Cruiser we are seeing here is for special ceremonies. He himself, his vehicle is Land Rover Defender 2001 model, which cost $12,000. This is to show that he is ready to work. When you see your president doing his best, you become happy. Why do you think that Africans are not happy about their leaders? Because their leaders will come and say that they are looking for investors to invest in the countries, that they are doing their best, trying to make sure that economy is back. But when you look at them seeing their action, you will know that these leaders are not doing what they are saying. How would you be planning for good economy, and you are buying about 500 pieces of Land Cruiser SUV that cost $200,000 each? How are you saying that economy will be good, and you are not building factories? Instead of building factories, you are approving for presidential jets, for Toyota Land Cruiser, building new houses here and there, saving money in different accounts, and you come out and you tell Africans that you are doing the best. Nobody will believe you. And this is the reason everybody is angry about African leaders. You see protests everywhere. Look at Burkina Faso. Everybody is happy because when you see the convoy of your president, you check the vehicle he is in. He is in a vehicle that costs lesser than what other presidents have. You check the convoy, you see that instead of having 20 vehicles, he only has 6 cheap vehicles. This is unbelievable. Ibrahim Traoré has become the first African president to avoid using the expensive Toyota Land Cruiser for convoy. We should never promote anybody who is misusing Africa's money to be going to Japan and procuring SUVs for enjoyment. Never. From today going on, we will only be praising leaders who are behaving like Ibrahim Traoré. Leaders who are using the money of her country or his country to buy tractors or build factories. We will never worship any leader who is driving expensive vehicles, who is driving Land Cruiser SUV 2024 model, because that money he is using to procure that vehicle is our money. It is the money that's supposed to have been used to buy tractors and sent everybody to work, but he didn't do it. Why? Because he wanted to enjoy and let the people on the street to keep suffering. A good leader would think like Ibrahim Traoré. Be selfless. Use any penny that comes into his hand carefully.
Listening to Solly MAPAILA, it really shows us that South Africans now are getting tired of the way their government is behaving, because more black people are getting poorer and poorer, and it's going to be worse. And the fact now that the revolution is being sold to DA, we are going back to apartheid. I see the idea of Solly MAPAILA warning everybody to wake up in their slumbers and understand that what ANC has done has taken the revolution back to apartheid system. We look at the position that has been given to DA by the ANC. You see that they failed to work with the progressive political parties like EFF, MK. At least the irritation that was going to be there was going to be better, and it was going to move the country forward. But because ANC has a leader called Cyril Ramaphosa who doesn't care about black people. He only care about white people because it's where he makes his money selling out black people. So looking at all this, listening to what Torres is doing in Burkina Faso, he has shown African leaders that are puppets of the West that anything is possible in Africa. We have all the mineral resources. As long as we have good leaders, everything can work in our favor in Africa. We have a very big continent. Africa is not one country, it's a big continent whereby there are different countries in that continent. But what is happening with the leaders that are there, looking at Swaziland, there is a country called Swaziland next to South Africa. But South Africa decided to go to court and attend to the countries that are very far, leaving the neighbor who has now sentenced MPs that were calling for freedom to 80-something years in prison just for calling for freedom. Remember this king of Swaziland, that dictator. He has done a lot. And Mapaila, whenever he speaks, Solly MAPAILA, he never forget about Swaziland. In every speech that he makes, he don't forget about the struggle that is going on in Swaziland. The king, to show that the king is in bed with the ANC, there was one guy in South Africa who was arrested by Swazi police. No extradition that was done. Mswati sent his emissaries to come and get this guy without contacting the government of South Africa, to show that the ANC is in bed with Swaziland. This is a shame. Now there are people that are arrested in Swaziland in connection of the case that is going on in South Africa. But now they're applying for extradition in Swaziland. But it never happened. Mswati, with his own emissaries, he took that guy from South Africa, arresting that guy, and went through the fence and jumped the fence without going through extradition. And as I talk, that guy is Thabo Kunene, is in prison. Look at all these kind of things that this king is doing. It shows that the biggest sponsor for ANC is the king of Swaziland. In each and everything, they are in bed with it. They can't say anything about the Swaziland. The neighboring country next to them, a king killing a lot of people. Everything is shifted under the carpet. It's like there's nothing. They meet him. Ramaphosa has met this guy several times. He never tells him to stop all this nonsense. It shows that we have got bad leaders in Africa. So I really feel for South Africans, as I am one. I really feel what is going on in South Africa is not good, and it's taking us back. Looking at what this GNU, that they call it GNU when it's a collusion, it's a matter of time. It will collapse. Once it collapses, then it's when the real democracy will come. But I really understand Solly MAPAILA, what he's saying. He really wants to go and sit down with the leaders of Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and understand how they did it, because he has made it clear that South Africans progressive should wake up in their slumber and smell the coffee, because otherwise apartheid is taking place as we are talking in South Africa. These guys are mobilizing. Looking at the immigration office, the Minister of Immigration, now a lot of people will be given IDs from outside. They will be voting DA, because that is how ANC has sold the country. And these people that will be given ID, it will be the white people, and they'll be voting from their countries. But they will be citizens of South Africa, not knowing how they got into that. Be careful what South Africa ANC is doing to South Africans. They are getting poor and poor forever. Wake up and smell the coffee. Let's comment respectfully and make sure we don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I love you all. Ngithanda ngothando luka love. Ngithi bravo bravo kweni bantu bakithi.